episode 3 of Dana White Contender Series this season. Just wrapped up week 3. So I'm going to recap the fights. So we started off, there was Pagello versus Ring. I actually did really good on predictions for this card, which before, I've been doing pretty bad for my picks lately for Dana White Contender Series, but I actually did good for this card, which is, it's always good. So Luis Pagello won his fight against Robbie Ring. I wasn't too high on Robbie Ring just because his level of competition just in comparison to Lewis just wasn't there. Plus he's young and he seemed a bit more inexperienced than Lewis. So, and it showed. He went out there brawling for some reason. I'm pretty sure he's like a really good grappler. So it was weird that he was fighting Luis Pagello's fight out there. Like, he was standing and trading with him, which is like, really weird to see from Robbie Ring. But yeah, like, if you just look at the level of competition, he beat a 0-0 guy to get the opportunity. 8-6, 1-0. I mean, I guess Jacob Kilburn was in the UFC, so I guess that's not the worst win to have, but still, he's on a skid. And then he beat Dusty Little, I'm not, just saying, you got to look at the level of competition. But I will get to a counter argument to that eventually. But yeah, Luis Pagello put on a really good performance. He's going to be a fun fighter. I don't see championship material in him by any means, but he'll be a fun fighter. It'd be cool to see him versus Hyder Emil, honestly. That'd just be a brawl. Both just brawling fighters. So maybe they could do that. I don't normally like debuting versus debuting, but like, come on, who doesn't want to see Luis Pagello versus Hyder Emil? That'd just be a fun fight. It'd be a scrappy one. And Luis Pagello gets a contract here. And then moving on, there was Josephine Cutson versus Isis Verbeek. Dominant performance from Josephine here. She showed some low fight IQ in moments. Like, she rocked Isis Verbeek with a head kick and then she just clinched for the rest of the round, which, yeah, that was really frustrating to watch because she probably could have got a finish here, but that was a really low fight IQ move there. Like, if you head kick someone and you rock them, you don't just clinch them against the fence for fucking 3 minutes. So unsurprisingly, she didn't get a UFC contract here. Dana didn't give her a contract. She still looked good in her performance, but that big blunder that she made in the fight IQ there, where clinching up after a head kick probably cost her a contract here. She honestly probably could have got a finish with that head kick, but she messed it up for herself. But what can you do? Unfortunate for her, but I think she's good. I think she'll eventually be in the UFC, but it wouldn't hurt her to build up some more experience. But yeah, still weird that she didn't get signed, but I understand it from Dana's perspective. If she's making low fight IQ moves like that, then maybe it's best if she goes and gets more experience and builds her finishing instinct. But yeah, like I say, weird that she didn't get signed, but it is what it is. Then moving on, only 4 fights on this card, so yeah, they were fun fights though. So moving on, we got the co-main event. We got Oban Elliott versus Kiak Brito. And this was a really fun fight. It was a good show of heart from Oban Elliott here. I thought he was about to get finished in that second round. He was rocked all over the place. He was getting beaten up. Like, he got dropped. It looked like he was a shot away from being put out. But he just managed to survive, and yeah, like, he said he was willing to die in there, and I believe him. He was literally fighting like there was no other way. He was fighting for that victory, and you'd love to see that, especially on Dana White Contender Series. And this was the one fight I got wrong. I picked Brito in this fight, but I was happy. I'm happy to be wrong here. Oban Elliott seems like a really cool guy, and he's got a really good personality. Like, this guy's like a Welsh Charles Sutton, honestly. Like, he talks trash. He's confident in himself. He's got lines. Like, honestly, if if he keeps winning, he could be a really big star, I reckon. Like, he's got star potential. I don't know what his ceiling is, but he looks improved from his other Cage Warriors fights, which you love to see. Just yeah, showed good heart, good cardio. He he did do some low fight IQ things, like in the first round. It seemed like Brito was slowing down a bit, and he just stayed standing with him. I feel like he could have capitalized a little bit on the wrestling, but I'm not going to hold that against him too much because he did still win the fight, and he did show good fight IQ in the third round, beating the crap out of Brito on the ground after Brito got tired, and yeah, no, it was a good performance. Good show of heart. Not the It wasn't like a technical fight by any means, but he showed good heart, and yeah, it'll be good to see who they match him up with in the UFC. But yeah, that was a good performance from Oban Elliott there. It could have been a draw though. I will say that second round could have been a 10-8. So like this actually could have been a draw, but I leaned 29-28 Elliott, but a draw was possible. Not gonna lie there. And one of the judges actually gave it a draw, but yeah, good fight there. And then the main event, it was Zachary Reese versus Eli Aronov. Oh, actually, I got this fight wrong too. What am I talking about? I completely forgot. This fight went so quick, I just forgot. So yeah, so I went 2-2. Okay, so didn't go as good as I thought I did. But this fight, yeah, it was. This fight literally came down to low fight IQ from Elliot Aronov. He was beating up Zachary Reese on the ground, and then he was put into like an armbar position, and he was out, but he literally threw himself back into the armbar, which was, I don't know, that was just a weird thing to see from a MMA fighter, but I guess he was just really trying to get the finish while he was on top. But yeah, really paid for that big mistake there. But Zachary Reese is in the UFC, and I gave Zachary Reese some grief for his record because he literally beat a 5-10 guy to get this opportunity, and his only guy with a winning record was 6-3 Aaron Phillips. But congrats to the guy. He won this fight. You love to see that to him. I don't hate Zachary Reese by any means. I just thought maybe his level of competition would lose him this fight. But no, he won this fight. He won it pretty clearly. Submission. Armbar a minute 14. Still hasn't left the first round. So you can't hate on Zachary Reese here. Good performance from him. It's just crazy that he hasn't really beat the highest level of competition, but maybe he's gonna go on a run in the middleweight division. He seems like a really good guy, so that'd be cool to see. But like I say, I only picked mostly against him just because we haven't seen him against that high level of competition. But be interesting to see who they match him up with. If he's still signed to the UFC, honestly, they need to do Zachary Reese versus Jamie Pickett. I think that's a smart fight. It's not like a massive jump up, and you find out how good Zachary Reese really is without having to throw him against some like fucking guy who's going to put a career altering beating on him. So yeah. But yeah, it was a good card. It would have been better if there was 5 fights on this card instead of 4, but what can you do? Weight misses happen. But next week, that card looks like it's going to be really fun. The week 4 card. And wow, this Dana White Contender Series is moving fast. We're already on week 4. So week 4, Dylan Salvador, who I believe he fought, and he's used to be a glory kickboxer, I believe. Yeah, he fought in glory. He's fighting Boljan Oki, who's a pretty hyped prospect. I haven't actually watched any of his tape, so I'll give a watch of his tape, but I've seen people high on him. Thomas Peterson, that's the guy who lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta. Yeah, so I watched that fight actually. He was dominating Waldo Acosta there, but then he just got caught. He seems like a really good guy. I don't really know much about Chandler Cole. But yeah, there's some good fights on next week. There's another glory kickboxer, Yuzori Balagori, who has a win over Alex Pereira, but also lost twice to him. He's actually training partners with Pereira as well, so that's interesting. and is that middleweight. So he also has a loss to Israel Adesanya by split decision, and then lost to him again. So it seems like all of Adesanya and Pereira's former opponents are all just like fucking jumping to the UFC now, seeing how much success they've both had, which you love to see. It's always good to get crossover athletes. He's fighting a shootbox guy, so that'll be a fun fight. I love the shootbox style, so yeah, it should be a really good card. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Put on them notifications because you want to, be able to watch these videos as soon as they come out because I make a lot of them. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate the support. Catch you guys.